Well, I've got this Discord working, but it's every now and then it just does weird stuff. I don't know why. But it seems to happen when I put my mouse over. Yeah, when I put my mouse over, yeah, it just goes off like that. Look, and I keep losing the screen, and some of the functions on it seem to be dodgy. So if I don't move my mouse around too much, but when I put my mouse over some of these icons down here, it just blanks out on me and I lose everything. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Sorry about Russ is talking in the background, so I should have muted that actually. I'll press the mute button in a minute. Yeah, I wanted to just talk a little bit about my device. I've just put this in the front because it's very bright right now, as you can see, my generator device. Just a minute. Right, so the power consumption at the moment on my device is actually 130 milliamps, which is really, really good, right? Obviously, you have to subtract 100 milliamps because the actual step-up device uses 100 milliamps. So if I disconnect my generator thing, it drops back to 100 milliamps and stays there. So we can ignore that. But 130 milliamps, and I'm getting that. Yeah, that's really, really efficient. Actually, that's extremely efficient. Now, I've been trying all these different coils that I've made, but these are my mini concentric sixes, and look how small they are. That's my thumb, very small, and I've got some alnicos in here in the core. I've been trying these out in the middle as well. But basically, I've got mini concentric sixes. Now let's just see what happens when I take this bit off here. This is the top section. There's actuator coils on top, and then there's two actuator coils underneath at the bottom down there as well. So there's two actuator coils down here, 1, 2, and there's two at the top. Now if I take the top section off, you'll notice my lights go out, it's dimmer. Now I've got, let's just move this to the side, it's still on by the way. This is my collector coil, right, one of them. Let's put it on, you can see the lights to change when I move it up and down on there. I've got a few more things to do with the holders to hold the coils in place. And I've got ferrite cores in there. Now, I've got mini concentric sixes in there, which are basically these, I'll show you the big one. That's a large concentric sixes, magnets around the perimeter, focusing, so the inside core is south, north, south, north, and what happens is when the device is turned on, it subtracts one of the fields on one of the concentrics, which releases the opposite pole directly through the ferrite core to the core of the pickup coil, which is very efficient actually. Now you just stuck with a magnet. So there's my concentric sixes. There's two miniature ones in there with tiny magnets in there. So there's one on each side, and my actuator coil, I put fluctuates the magnetic field from these to generate the energy. Now it's very efficient really, but I need to adjust my holders because they keep falling off. Now look at this. The bottom one's being actuated at the moment, but the top one isn't. But look at that. Look at the difference when I put these on here to the LEDs. There's no actuation on the top here at all. But when I put this on, it improves the field. Right? So I am getting some very, very interesting results. There's minimum fuss, there's minimum amount of energy being required. My current consumption is very low compared to what it would be if I didn't have these actuator coils. This is one I made. There's two coils on there with an Alnico flip-flop magnet in there. Let's try and get this on without knocking everything over because it's tricky with the magnetic fields. Let's try and get it on there. Right. It's going to fall in a minute because it's not. I need to sort my holders out. As I get this on there, you see what a difference it makes to the LEDs. They're not straight right now. Let's get them straight. Well, I'll move one and the other one moves off a bit because I had something to hold it together before in the middle, but it's not straight at the moment. Yeah, I have to do it with two hands, really. I would use blue tack, but I got sick of pulling it all apart when I was trying different things. Elastic bands were ripping on the wires. I didn't want to break the wires. But you can see how much brighter that is. I've got two in parallel. I'll push this one, but it's not enough to drive both banks of LEDs. But yeah, just a little update on the situation and what I'm doing. I've made a new extended holder, which isn't going to be deep enough because I'm going to be putting longer rows of alnicos in the middle, which should give me a much better, wider field. Should work better anyway. So you can basically see, I'll move my keyboard out of the way a minute. Now if I can just pop this up on here a minute without the phone falling over. I don't think it will. I'll stick my cup here. That's it. Right, I just wanted to get these straight. I can't do it properly with one hand. You see, no, that's it. Once you get it straight and I put some pressure on it, holds everything together. Now I've improved the holders, but I haven't printed them out yet. So they encapsulate, so the thing comes up and holds the concentric sticks and holds the coils straight, so that when the brackets are on, nothing slides around. But at the moment, I'm going to have to print those out later. But in the meantime, what I was planning on doing was doing the longer coils. The longer coils consist of longer alnico magnets, which are in here at the moment. And they look a bit like those Star Wars fighter things, whatever you call them. Anyway, these alnico switches are going to be longer, because I'm just going to use one alnico in each switch, because it's easier to flip one alnico than it is to flip two or three of them. And then obviously the more I use, the more alnicos I use, the more current and power I need to drive it. And I figured out, actually, there's no point in using extra ones, as long as each alnico can conduct the flux that's required to do the switching. I think one small one should do the trick, because I'm not switching a great deal of flux, really. I've got to wind these coils later on, because these go in this other bracket here. So basically, I'll just put these on here. I'll put them in a repulsion mode, then they won't keep flying out. So if I put them in this, oops, it's flipping around on me. So the alnicos, let's just get it, hold it with my finger, will go in this new bracket like that. With the coils, and these new brackets will go on the coils, and then we'll be able to test the next phase, which is going to be more efficient, I hope. Because at the moment I'm using some rectangular alnicos, which are really chunky. Actually, they're about 20 millimeters long by about 5 millimeters deep by about 10 millimeters wide, or something like that. So they were actually, yeah, sorry about my voice, I'm full of cold still. Anyway, these others should work better once I get them, oops, flying around. Once I get them done, we'll find out, won't we? So yeah, so I've got these new brackets and new holders I've got to print the deeper ones, really, because I need to be able to hold the bobbins more securely. I might actually print slimmer bobbins as well, because I've been finding that early on I had two the two stacked coils like this on top of each other, and it's more efficient just using one of these coils. So basically, I think I might go more towards a pancake coil, but it won't really technically be a pancake coil. It'll just be half the width of one of these. So it'll be basically half the width, half the thickness, if you like, of one of these. The only problem with doing that is it means I've got to cut my ferrites down, and I didn't want to be doing that if I can help it. So that's going to be last resort, because what I'll simply do is I'll try it without. I'll probably try and dig around, look for some smaller coils and stick them in and just try them first, because I don't want to start cutting my ferrites down. I've got quite a lot of them. Already cut ferrite pieces are very short, which I could actually make a coil to suit these. Are existing ferrite cores that have been cut down, so that's what I might do, because I've got a few short ones which are left over from the other concentric 6 project, where there was a few that was a bit too short. So I had these are not cheap. These ferrite pieces, you're talking about £1 each. That's 99 pence each. That's probably $1.50 or something, or $1.70. I don't know what it is in American money, but you know, get the idea. They're not cheap, so I don't want to be cutting them unless I really have to. So anyway, there you can see it. That's a hell of an improvement from what we were doing with a larger earlier device, which was the first one. Was this one, which was this was solid state. This was a solid state one, which I did based on a rotary system, which I've dismantled now. And the laminations, the spacing was just too big. That's the problem. And also the steel was the reactance speed was too slow. Anyway, I was just showing you the old ones. Collected a lot of dust actually now. So anyway, thanks for watching.